This is a very interesting question. Why can't you pay your agency based on the performance that they get you? And it's a very valid question, actually, particularly with e-commerce, with managing e-commerce accounts, because it's very easy to see the ROI that you're getting because you're seeing the revenue in your AdWords account. You can see exactly how many orders, what they were worth, and how much they cost you to get. So why will... I'm not saying some agencies will allow you to pay on performance, but most, in my experience, they won't do that. I think the biggest objection I tend to hear from people, and it's something that I go along with this as well, I think, is that we are responsible for everything that happens inside the AdWords account. And if you're managing a shopping feed, you're responsible for everything that happens inside that feed and for optimizing that. Our job is to get the right people to click on your ad and get them to your website. Now, once they get to that website, that's where they convert, that's where they place their order. That is beyond our control. We have no control as to what happens on that website. If your website is hopeless on mobile, I mean, once I figure that out, I'm not going to send any mobile traffic to your website because I know they don't convert. But that's once they've clicked on the ad and arrive on your website, all that side of it is beyond my control. What happens when they process the order? What happens with the deliveries? What happens with your customer service? If there's an issue with your customer service that means that they don't place that order, then I have no control over that. That's down to you. So I'm very reluctant to say to you, well, you know, I'll get you X orders a month and a X% ROI. I might be sending you the best traffic and the most relevant traffic and people ready to buy. If your website and your processes at your end aren't set up correctly or there's an issue, then that's out of my control and they won't buy. So that's why most agencies I'm not saying won't, but they don't use that performance model, if you like. With lead generation, it's a little bit more common where a business will pay for every lead that comes through. So that can be quite common, but I've yet to come across an e-commerce, personally, I mean, I've yet to come across an agency in e-commerce that works on an ROI basis, just because of the fact that once our job is done and once they get through to your website, we have no control over what happens on the website and what happens to them after they've placed their order. So without having that control, we're not able to actually, you know, there's nothing we can do to kind of make sure that side of things works properly. So I hope that answers your questions. I hope it wasn't too vague, but that's why very often you won't be able to pay your agency based on performance.